beautiful Aries. Thank you for coming to my channel. I'd like to say, first of all, I really appreciate all the subscribes, likes, shares, comments. Y'all, this has really meant so much to me. I'd also like to say thank you for each of you who have been hanging in there with me. Staying subscribed to my channel, although I haven't been here for a while, and there's been a lot of distance in between readings. You know, I have an elderly dad who, for those of you that don't know, who has been going through some physical issues, and I have been caring for him in his home out of town, and will be from time to time. I'm an only child, so that's part of my journey, is to help take care of my dad when the need arises. So thank you again, each of you, for continuing to be with me through this process and not giving up on me. But I can promise you I will be here as often as possible. Okay, so this is a reading, of course, for Aries for the yearly 2022. I'm going to go ahead and begin with the crystal grid. I'm going to activate my energy. Give me just a moment, please. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, and all who are with me in the highest divine realms of love and truth, I ask that you please give me good communication skills to bring forth correct information and interpretations of the information that you are bringing to me for Aries for the yearly reading and guidance for 2022. I ask that the crystals please fall where they need to fall on this crystal grid for Aries' highest good, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. I activate this crystal grid with love and truth for Aries' highest good, please. I activate this crystal grid for Aries' highest good, please. I activate this crystal grid for Aries' highest good, please. Thank you, Spirit. Please know that when I say Spirit, I'm speaking of only the highest divine realms of love and truth as a combined effort. Now, this reading is mostly going to be from the information that I have obtained through meditation in Christ consciousness, and also obtaining information within the Akashic records. Okay? Now, to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and read to you my notes of information that came through during meditation and being connected to the Akashic records. First of all, I had a vision that contained a very large amount of white orbs. Okay, now what does this mean? So white orbs, in the fashion that I saw them, was telling me that many of you who are the Aries zodiac sign throughout this entire year are going to be noticing that the veil is decreasing, okay, or thinning. Many of you may begin actually seeing orbs and seeing other realms, okay? So some of you who are beginning to awaken may see a huge increase in the awakening process. Those of you who have already began the awakening process may be seeing increased ascension symptoms. You may be experiencing or developing higher knowledge, or more of a knowing, or your abilities that you know that you do have may begin to fully awaken. And also you may begin to see abilities that you did not realize that you had begin to awaken within you. Okay? Now I have to say a disclaimer for the ascension symptoms, please, please, please do not look at any symptom that you may be experiencing as an ascension symptom first. Always, 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 please see a licensed medical professional. Get checked out. If they can't find anything wrong, then from there you might want to check into what symptoms you're having, and just look up, type in something like ascension symptoms. Let's say you're having a lot of ringing in the ears, which that's what a lot of us are experiencing and have for quite a while. Yours may become very intense, but you want to go to a licensed health professional first. Have your ears checked, okay? And then if the doctor gives you a complete clearing, and doesn't see that there's any type of health issues medically, then you might want to go ahead and begin looking into typing in something about ascension symptoms, ears ringing, things like that, whatever your symptoms that are occurring may be, okay? But please, please, please remember, look at ascension symptoms last, okay? We got to be smart about this, okay? Now, the next thing that came through was the color red, okay? Now, this is the color of the root chakra that needs balanced, okay? Anytime that I see red in meditation, it's usually telling me, just like 99.999% of the time, it has to be the root chakra that needs balancing, okay? Now, so what this is saying is, throughout the year of 2022, you're going to want to focus on keeping your root chakra especially balanced, okay? All of the other chakras are important, but the root chakra is thought to be the main, like the foundation of the 7 major chakras. Now, we have many, many, many chakras, okay, but we have the 7 major that I'm talking about, which are your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. So it's like your root foundation there. That's the main thing that everything else builds upon. Okay, so it's going to be very important to keep that root chakra balanced. If you look at it this way, look at the Tower card, for instance, in tarot. Okay, sometimes those towers have to come crashing down, and usually what happens is because the foundation that once was solid has this crack in it, and it has to come crumbling down so that foundation can be built solid again and built back up. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure to keep things balanced. Now, there is a whole lot that goes along with this root chakra, okay, and the color red. So first of all, again, the root chakra is associated with the color red. It's also considered number 1, okay, as far as numbers go with numerology. Now, the number 1, first of all, can be a symbolization that you're going to be experiencing lots of synchronicities, okay? In tarot, it's also connected with or associated with the magician, the wheel, the sun, all the aces, okay? Which means, has meaning of new growth and opportunity, taking action for seed growth, for something that you planted, okay? Keeping your thoughts optimistic, because again, the magician card, okay? You're going to be manifesting things, so you want to keep everything, even your thoughts, as optimistic as possible, okay? It's a rebirth, and it's about having faith that these things will come to pass. Your heart's desires will take place, okay? Also, the root chakra is associated with the earth element, which means this is going to be a year that you're going to really need to stay grounded, okay? It's thought to support the other chakras, as I already said, of the major 7 chakras energetically. So it's going to be important to keep balance. But here's the thing. How do you know if you are not in alignment, not in balance? Well, here's the things that you will be feeling or experiencing if you're not in balance, okay? Things such as living in that fight or flight mode, okay? So what happens is when we go into that fight or flight mode, it stimulates cortisol. Now, cortisol is a hormone, and that can bring up a whole lot of other issues that honestly, it's not good, and I'll go over these with you. So the first thing that you may be feeling is, extreme anxiety, which brings in fear. Feeling like you're living in survival mode, okay? Or it could also make you feel like you're stuck or stagnant and you're having trouble moving forward. Maybe you're having all these ideas of things you would love to do, but all of a sudden it's like distraction, distraction, distraction. Or maybe it's just that you don't have the feeling of wanting to proceed at the moment. Like mentally you may, but physically you just don't have it within you at the time, and you feel like you need to be more of like a hermit mode or disconnect from people, okay? Can also feel like you don't belong. Now, here's the thing. Now, a lot of us who are star seeds, light workers, we don't feel like we belong here, okay? But what I'm talking about is, even though we may feel like we don't belong here, when we are in balance, we can still connect with others and still at least know and feel like we're here on purpose, we're here on mission, things like that. When you are out of balance with your root chakra, you won't even feel those things. You'll just feel like a complete disconnect, okay? That you cannot connect to anyone, to anything, okay? You could also be feeling or having a difficult sleeping patterns, having a lot of what ifs, going in and out of your mind a lot. You could be going along and seems like everything's wonderful, and then all of a sudden you get those what ifs, well, what if this, and you had this good idea to start a new business, or to move to a beautiful area, or to do something that your heart's really desiring to do, and you're making all the preparation, you're trying to manifest this to happen for you in your life, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, but what if I can't? But what if my finances? What if my business? What if this and that? Okay? And all that's doing is that's setting you back again. And Spirit's saying during this time that you have to really watch those what ifs throughout the year. Okay? Of course, always. But especially this year is going to be a year of experiencing these things if you don't keep yourself in balance. Okay? Also, when I was speaking about the cortisol hormone, okay, well, what happens is it can also affect like cause constipation or bowel problems, which can cause weight gain or weight loss. It can also cause not the cortisol hormone, but the being out of balance can cause a weakened immunity, fatigue, lower body anomalies and problems such as low back pain, kidney pain, bladder pain, lower extremities. It could be pain, it could be swelling, which would be the legs and feet. Okay, so anything from mid torso down basically, is what could be affected. Now, here are some things that I do recommend. First of all, raw red stones or crystals. Okay? Now, the reason I say raw is because I am an energy healer. I am an energy worker. I feel energies strongly from crystals. I can tell a huge difference when I work with a raw crystal opposed to one that has been tumbled and polished. Now, I can still feel energy from a tumbled and polished stone. However, there is a decrease in the amount of energy that I feel. Okay, so that tells me that a raw stone, somehow when it gets manipulated, it changes its frequency somewhat. Okay, but however, please keep in mind, if what you already have in a red stone, if you have one, is tumbled, don't be afraid to use it. Of course, go ahead and use it. Just make sure to keep it cleansed and charged as frequently as possible. Also, I recommend red clothing, okay? Or something, or the color red that's actually touching or next to your body. So, for instance, let's say you have a red crystal necklace and it is, of course, up against your neck. Okay, it's touching your skin. Now, that's wonderful. Of course, if you have a small one and you have a pocket to put it in, you can put it in your pocket, but please keep in mind it's not directly touching your skin. Doesn't mean it won't help you, but it does decrease the effect, slightly. Okay, but still, if that's what you have, it will definitely be better than having none. Okay, or you could wear, a red shirt, red pants, a red blanket. But again, I definitely recommend something touching the skin. If you have a crystal, there are times that, I have a lot of loose crystals, and sometimes some of them are really big. I can't put them, under my head in the pillowcase, because they're just too big. And even if I did, which I do sometimes, it's still not directly touching my skin. But I still do put them in my pillowcase, the small ones, from time to time when I need them. They still do help. Okay? So I don't want you to think that I'm saying if it's not raw, it's not any good. No, I'm just saying it's not as strong, okay, than if you have a raw crystal. And the next thing that I recommend is listening to 396 hertz frequency music. It's solfeggio frequencies. 396 hertz is associated with the root chakra and can help also bring the root chakra into balance. Now, I do make those, so if you're interested in meditating with 396 hertz frequency or sleeping with 396 hertz frequency, I will put a card for each at the end of this video for you if you're interested. The one that will be the sleep video will be the one that will say balance 7 major chakras as you sleep. Okay, so that's going to be I don't remember if it's 8 hours or 11 hours, but anyways, you don't have to do anything. Just turn it on, listen to it as you sleep. And I do recommend that if you're going to use solfeggio frequencies, to use them at least 30 days in a row if you possibly can. Don't worry if something happens and you have to skip a day or two. That's not going to hurt anything, but it will help every time that you do use it, okay? And the more you use it, the better that it will work, and the quicker that it will work to keep you in balance. Okay, so the next thing and the last thing that came through from the Akashic records, okay, I heard a male, he said, "Ow!" And immediately I felt an intense sharp pain in my right shoulder. Okay, so what that was telling me was I felt like to be more present with your health, your body, mind, and spirit. The BMS, body, mind, spirit. Okay, you need to, like this year, you may be more prone to having body aches and pains or physical issues. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be extremely important for you to keep this root chakra balanced, okay? But you also want to make sure that you focus on healthy eating habits and exercise, okay? So let me give you an example here. Don't be worrying about whatever fad diets are out there or what your loved ones are doing, because even though we all have human bodies, they're not all the same. They're not all designed to work the same in every single area, okay? So, for instance, I have epilepsy. A few years back, I attempted to start eating vegan, okay? And I did it for quite some time. And all of a sudden, I started jerking really bad. And it got to the point that my husband had to actually feed me. And, I mean, I was honestly like a baby. My husband had to put, I was jerking so bad, my husband had to put a towel on me, because even when I would try to take a drink, I had to use sippy cups. It was that bad. And I was thinking, well, I was eating vegan, I was trying to be healthy, and I was just beginning, because I had been in an accident and also had a faulty product in my body, and I was just beginning with yoga to start being able to walk on my own without devices. And then so I was doing yoga, what little that I could do, but I was still doing it, okay, trying to get my body built back up because I had been bedfast for so long. So excuse me. So what happened was I began having visions. This one particular day, I kept seeing the word K-E-T-O. And I had this vision over and over and over again while I was awake. And I kept telling my husband, I keep seeing the word K-E-T-O. I didn't know what it was. And although I used to be a nurse and I do have epilepsy, I did not remember studying at that time about the ketogenic diet for epileptics. Okay, so since I couldn't remember that, I didn't understand, and I kept asking for clarification from Spirit. So then my son, who was living with us at the time, my younger son who worked in healthcare, he came home from work that evening, and he said, just as soon as he came in the door, he said, "Mom, have you ever heard of the ketogenic diet for epileptics?" Okay, so Spirit had been trying to get my attention to let me know that, hey, that diet, although it works good for other people, this is not what your body needs. Okay, so I began investigating about this, with epilepsy, talking to my neurologist about it, and come to find out my body was very deficient in fat. My brain has to have a certain amount of fat, a certain amount of protein. So when I switched from the vegan diet over to the ketogenic diet, my seizures stopped, completely stopped. When I began to, because I have to do like a certain ratio, I have to do so many grams of fat, so many grams of protein, and so many grams of carbs per day. And so when I began doing that, it was almost instant, like less than a week. Things began to change for the better, but that was just for me, okay? So just because something someone has a certain viewpoint doesn't mean, and even if you have that viewpoint, it doesn't mean that that diet or that healthy regimen is going to work for what your personal body needs. Because you have to remember, at the end of the day, yes, we're all in human form, but we're still different. Okay? All right. So that's all that I have for you as far as what came through from Spirit and the Akashic Records. I'm going to pull some guidance cards. Please know I have already prayed over my cards, and Spirit has given me 2 guidance decks to go over with you with these yearly readings. So these readings are a little different than my normal. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, all who are with us in the highest divine realms of love and truth, I ask that you please give Aries guidance for the yearly reading 2022, please. What does Aries need to know for the yearly 2022, please? This one as well? No. These? This one, okay? Okay, the first one, surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. I hope this is focusing well for you. Okay. Now let's see. More from this deck, Spirit? No. Okay. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, all who are with us in the highest divine realms of love and truth, I ask that you please tell Aries what guidance you would like to give the zodiac sign of Aries for yearly reading 2022, please. What does Aries need to know? Oh, I just heard go back. Go back. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. This one? Yes. This one? Yes. This one? Yes. Okay. Okay, so we have surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Remember, grounding is going to be so important during this time. And if you notice, look at all the red, the root chakra. Okay? It's going to be very, very important. Then we have surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. There's the root chakra again. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. Very beautiful. Okay, next one. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Very, very beautiful. I just love these cards. They're just so gorgeous. So serene. More from this deck, Spirit. Oh, I just felt another jolt. Thank you, Spirit. What other guidance would you like to give our lovely Aries zodiac sign, please, for the year 2022 yearly reading? Thank you, Spirit. This one? Yes. Surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. Remember, right here, focus on a healthy body, mind, and spirit. Okay? More from this deck, Spirit. Okay, now I absolutely feel nothing from this deck. So I'll go ahead and continue with the Get Sparked Oracle cards. What guidance would you like to give Aries, please, for the yearly reading 2022, please? What does Aries need to know? What guidance, please? What guidance? What are the main things that Aries needs to know for the year of 2022? What guidance, please, Spirit? Ooh, thank you. These? Yes, okay. Oh, love it. We have strength, bravery, respect. Very nice. And we have regeneration, renewal, and adaptation. And we have hope, unity, and luck. And do you see the rainbow here? The rainbow, that's a promise. Okay, every time I see a rainbow as symbolization, there's a promise being made to you. Okay, so remember, the main things to take away from this is as long as you keep your root chakra balanced, you stay grounded, okay, and you focus on a healthy body, mind, and spirit this year, you are going to have some extreme awakening, not just symptoms, but extreme awakening, whether you're new to it or you've already began, as I said earlier, and you have more gifts opening up wide, or new ones that you didn't even realize that you had. Okay, so that's all that I have for you on the yearly reading, Aries. Much, much, much love to you.